It's Movie Monday, brought to you exclusively from Salesforce. Each week we'll talk about the previous week's most popular questions. We'll also talk about what's new and what's to come. We hope this helps with the training curve and allows you to maximize the most out of Salesforce and your day. Let's go ahead and get started. Thanks for everybody for last week. I know that was a lot of material that we covered. Got a lot of really good feedback and not a whole lot of questions actually. So appreciate your support there and going through all those training pieces. We are going to be circling back around with that at the regional meeting, just as a recap. In the meantime, just a couple housekeeping updates is we found the #NA error. Thanks for those of you who have been working with us on that. That has been identified and the solution's in place, and it should be fixed by the end of business day tomorrow. Also, with regards to C-STAR, there was about 80 out of 2,000, I think, result letters that there was an error coming over from C-STAR. We got C-STAR involved in that, and they figured out what was going on, so that should also be fixed by the end of the week. All right, let's see. Oh, also, one last thing is dashboards. They're not up to date right now. We're currently programming those, so in the next week, you might have to drill in and look at a specific time frame if you're looking at reporting on something on your dashboards. But next Monday, we'll go over the new dynamic dashboard, and it'll be a lot easier and simpler. All right, let's go ahead and jump straight into the second part of our spring release of the automatic workflow, which is the feeder sites. We're keeping it really simple and easy and saying, okay, this is what's going out for the feeders. So when you select the campaign members, which we also call as feeders, this is what's going to go out. So when you create it or when you select them as being sent, an introduction email is going to go out 1 week from that date. Then we switch over to the trigger date of being the screening date. And from that screening date, 11 weeks beforehand, the first blurb and the e-flyer is going to go out to those feeder sites. 7 weeks prior to the screening, they're going to get the video email and the sign-up sheet and the PSAs, the short announcements. And then 3 weeks prior to, they're going to get a follow-up. So just wanted to give you a heads up on what is going out and when it is going out. I'll also attach this into our file. Let's jump straight into an example. A couple things have changed, but not a whole lot. Going into campaigns, going to go into my test campaign. Again, you can select on Manage Members at the very top, or if you're a scroller, you can scroll down to Campaign Members, which is under the Related list, and select here. I like coming up here and selecting this guy. So we're going to still add members. We're going to select contacts. And we're going to do the account zip code. And I'm going to put in my bogus zip. And then I'm going to select go. Now, one thing that's new with this spring release for the campaign feeders is even if something is selected and the contact has opted out, so you've checked that opt-out button, it will not go out. Before, it was not programmed that way. This way it is, so that way everything looks good there. Now, let's say you say, Christine, I know you're saying that it's programmed that way, but I just want to see which ones opt out. I've added a feature here where you can come in and say Edit Columns, and you scroll down on Available Columns, it's a tongue twister, to email opt-out, and let's add it over. And then you can select here how you want these to list. I'm just going to put it at the very top, and I'm going to click on Save. So now if you're going through and selecting which ones you want to see have opted out and not select those, you can do that. Now, here's the only bad thing is there's no way to program to save this. So we looked at writing some code. It was just too pricey. So what you'll need to do is if you really want to look at it, you can do that on an individual basis. Now, something else that is new that we added, and again, a little bit of, we're getting off of the screen. So let's say, Mickey Mouse sounds so familiar. Gosh, when did we last work with Mickey? We added to this contact, I just clicked on his name. First name or last name will bring you back to the contact detail. And if you scroll down, I've added a related list that's called Campaign History. So now if it's under Campaign History, you'll be able to see what feeder he was associated to which campaign or which screening. So anytime you see the status of being sent, you know that they were added as a feeder or a campaign member, and the campaign name is going to tell you which screening code. So you will have to go back and forth. That's just an added little feature there. If you find yourself going back and forth a lot and it's a feature that you guys really like and want to have, we could probably work some with the console so that way you can see multiple screens on one page. But just play around with that. Let me know if you like it, if you don't, so that way we know what to do from there. Let me come back to the screen where I was before, clicking on Contacts, and here's Go. So from here, you're going to select which ones you want, add, and then send. All right, one last thing is where can you find these email templates? Come up to the very top and click on Setup, and then you're going to come over to the left-hand column, Personal Setup, and then Email, and then click on My Templates. So underneath My Templates, again, you're not going to see all of this. You should only see these two, Workflow for Campaign Members/Feeders and Workflow for Campaign Site Contacts. So we cleaned it all up, we hit all the others, and we took out what we needed. So if you click on Workflow for Campaign Members/Feeders, you'll be able to see the 4 or 5 templates that are being sent out in the workflow rules that are associated to the feeder sites. I think that's all for now. Until next time, may the force be with you. Salesforce, that is.